Oh no, mine I say and
Like a big order, I can't put away.
He's gonna put something on the wall.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Before we begin, sorry. It's my first time, guys, so take it easy on me, all right? Everybody, please sit down. All right. Friends and family, we are gathered here today to witness and celebrate the union of Delaney and Fernando in marriage. There was a comma there, sorry. All right, before we continue though, we want to acknowledge those who cannot be with us here today, but remain in our hearts. So, Grandpa Fernando Labastida, Barbara Miller, Stella Kunkler, aka Mimi, Stuart Kunkler, aka Stuku. We love you and we miss you. All right, you guys ready? You nervous? Yeah, I am. You know, this is serious, guys. This is a very serious thing. You know, this undertaking, it's not for the faint of heart, really. You know, it takes a certain kind of person to do what you guys are doing here today. It really does. Someone with conviction, passion, purpose. People like O.J. Simpson, Robert Durst, even Phil Spector, you know? I'm just fucking around. Obviously, it's just a joke. Fernando would never do that. So get that out of your heads. It's not a thing he would do. Delaney, though. I'm just saying, you ever piss her off, make sure you watch her making that coffee. That's all I'm saying. Now, when Delaney and Fernando first asked me to officiate this wedding, you know, I did some reflection on marriage. You know, I've been married for 5 years. 5 years. And, you know, when I got married, I knew nothing about marriage whatsoever. I still don't. Well, I did some studying for this, so I know a little bit more about it now, but I did some reflection. You know, and something I realized about marriage is how important the ritual of marriage is, you know? I mean, today, with this, I can call somebody halfway across the world in an instant. It's amazing. It's incredible technology, right? It's at our fingertips. For instance, I've been working at this place for 4 years, right? People across the world in India, every day, right? Amazing technology. I've never met a single person that I work with. Not one. 4 years, I've not met one person. It's incredible technology, but it also creates obstacles and barriers, right? For accessing the simple beauty of human connection. And that is why rituals and traditions such as marriage are so important today, right? Now, we are not only here to celebrate the union of Fernando and Delaney, but to celebrate union itself, possibility, potential, and creation. Tonight, as their worlds unite, sorry, I lost my place. Give me a second. And their families grow, we all have an opportunity to share in that creation, to forge new friendships and connections. So I encourage you all to take advantage of that. Meet somebody new. This is the opportunity for it. That's why these things are so special. And as witnesses to this union and participants in this ritual, we are given an opportunity to share in the beauty of love by setting aside our divisions, our expectations that this society has placed upon us. As we hear the story of how Fernando and Delaney came to stand here today, those of us who are married can be revivified and remain committed to our unions and traditions. And for those yet to meet their Nene or Nando, may this inspire you to trust that one day you'll walk into a party and that person that you thought was named Dallas from your light social media stalking is actually named Delaney. Delaney and Fernando, of course, they met on Halloween, where Delaney dressed as Elle Woods, and Fernando came as Nardwar, the human servant. Now, if you don't know who that is, it's okay. Nobody does. I've asked a lot of people. Nobody knows who that is. But he came dressed as him. They hit it off instantly. And, they navigated the early phase of their relationship, seeing each other when they could. And eventually, Delaney ended up moving to Philadelphia while Fernando finished school. And even though they were young in their relationship, they faced challenges that would test many couples. Yet, Fernando's character and love for Delaney shone through, and he never wavered. He was always there for Delaney, even through the difficult times. And when Fernando decided to marry Delaney, he began planning a proposal that I will not fully recount here, okay? And that's, to spare everyone who didn't propose like a 90s rom-com. Like, it's insane. This guy. Fernando, it's very inconsiderate of you to tell that story in front of anybody, right? I jumped out of a closet to propose, so you can't tell that story in front of me. That's insane, That was a long week. A lot of foot rubs. Fernando, it's insane, this proposal. I'm sure some of you guys have heard this by now, but it's an insane proposal. I'm not going to tell it again, but he somehow managed to turn his proposal into like a Rube Goldberg machine. There was like an old boot and a bowling ball involved, and it was insane. It's the most complicated proposal I've ever heard. It's like a Christopher Nolan movie or some shit. It's like I kept up with Tenet better than your proposal. But I'll jump to the end, where Delaney, through chattering teeth in 10-degree weather, in the middle of a Chicago winter, said yes. And that is love. They are in love, they have been tested, and they are ready to spend their lives together. So let's get to it. After all, marriage is what brings us together. All right. Fernando, Delaney, you have come here today to publicly declare your love and commitment for each other, to each other. Before your family and friends, do you both promise to love, honor, and cherish each other through all of life's joys and challenges? We do. Yeah, we do. All right, the vows.
Delaney, I write this sitting on our balcony, looking at the beautiful sunset, listening to the summer cicadas, with a faint trumpet sound and the occasional L in the background. Painting the picture here. As I reflect, I am reminded of how happy I am to live this life with you. Yet at the moment, I feel a bit lost, not knowing what to do with myself since you're on your third day of your bachelorette trip in Mexico. And I miss you. Every time you're gone for that long, I feel like there's a part of me missing. This is how I felt since we started dating 4 years ago. A pandemic, long-distance relationship seemed improbable to me until I fell in love with you. I have confessed to you before that soon into our virtual dates, I was certain that I loved you. that we would marry and spend the rest of our lives together. How did I know this so soon? Well, it wasn't just our shared love for SZA, Star Wars, comedy, or your amazing singing voice, or even the bond we share from growing up as protectors of our younger siblings. A role that has shaped the way we love and care for others. It was the way you made me feel safe, as if I had just come home from a long trip. The way you make me feel, or the way you would make me laugh throughout the night as I had just caught up with an old best friend. The way you understood the world and its beauty and its blight. But most honestly, it was your smile that gave me butterflies, while at the same time giving me the feeling of something familiar, as if you had always been in my life. Delaney, I love you. I loved you from a FaceTime call in Texas. I loved you in Philly. I love you now in Chicago. I love you today. And I will always love you for the rest of my life. I'm proud to call you my wife and to be your husband. I look forward to many more Herkle-Durkle days and what we can create together. So today I make these promises to you. I promise to always choose you. I promise to prioritize us and our union. I promise to support you through both the difficult and the celebratory times. I promise not to change the thermostat more than 2 degrees higher at night. I promise to be mindful of your baby bedtime. I promise to always turn over when you tell me that I'm snoring. I promise to notice, to help, and to ensure our home is a place where love, respect, and partnership live. I promise to love you forever and ever.
All right, here we go, guys. I never thought I'd meet the love of my life while dressed as Elle Woods, complete with a tiny stuffed bruiser, but clearly you weren't scared off by my commitment to character. In fact, you were just as committed, donning a full Nardwuar costume and roaming the party, interviewing all my guests. I thought it was the cutest thing in the world. We hit it off instantly that Halloween night, and I knew I'd met someone just as quirky as me. But what I didn't know was in the coming weeks, I would grow to love someone I'd always dreamed of. Someone so unbelievably kind, selfless, and filled with conviction. Over the months and years with you, I've learned how fiercely you care, not only for the people you love, but even the strangers you pass on the street. I've watched you stop at nothing to right the wrongs you see in the world and to make the people you love feel happy and safe, myself included. I've never been more inspired by anyone. And beyond all of that, you make me laugh like no one ever has. I love how you try to play it off like you aren't a little goofball, but then at home you're breaking into quirky dance moves and sending me into a laugh attack. I miss that when you aren't around. And every day I impatiently wait for you to come home so we can joke, laugh, and watch our favorite shows together. I want you to know how lucky I feel to know you and be loved by you so deeply. And to show you how lucky I feel, I have a few promises to you. I promise to not only be your wife, but also your teammate. I promise to keep annoying you with my weird ADHD goofiness, even if I've already done it 10 times that day. I promise to keep chasing you across the house, laughing and launching surprise attacks, even when our cats are judging us. I promise to laugh with you, go on adventures with you, and love you endlessly for the rest of my life. And I promise to stand by your side and support you through every obstacle, just as you've always supported me. So today, I'm not just saying I love you, I'm saying thank you for choosing me, for being my home, and for being the greatest love I've ever known. I'm saying I'd fall for that guy in the Nardwuar costume 1,000,000 times over. And I promise I always will.
That was lovely. All right. Okay. These rings are symbols of the unbroken circle of love. As you place them on each other's fingers, remember that love freely given has no beginning and no end. By the power vested in me by the Church of Satan, State of Illinois, and witnessed by your loved ones gathered here today, I now pronounce you husband and wife. I think I did that a little out of order. No refunds. Now I'll pronounce you man and wife. Fernando, you may kiss your bride.
It's being live streamed.
Congratulations, Nando and Delaney.
Congratulations, Nando and Delaney.
Yeah. So if you can get everyone together, we're gonna do. No, anyone on your side.
Even the group, bride and groom.
And the bride and groom will be there.
Okay.
gonna try.
Harvey's watching, so it's live streamed to Harvey. There's cousins Zach and David, and the wedding party. And Nanette's watching too. Okay, this is going to be the end of the live stream. Bye-bye.